Hi guys, how you doing? Senior Gaming here, and in today's episode I'm bringing you Legend of Slime, and I'll talk you through my build, which is based on Magic Coin and Barrets itself. So if you're Legend of Slime player or perhaps idle gamer, then make sure you subscribe to the channel, as I post as often as possible and bring you best tips and advice. And if you enjoy what you see, then smash this like button as well. Right then guys, so the duo build I've got for you today is a build that I have started implementing in very early stages of the game, and as you see, it actually have worked well. So currently I sit on a 73L when it comes to total power, and I've done it pretty much being almost free to play player. The reason I mark there almost, as you see, I actually own Cobalus, which is a reward for purchasing non-ad pack. And that's the only thing I normally do if I play the game. I just want to skip ads so I can focus on, producing more videos for that matter. So obviously this gives me advantage of slightly more masteries and getting my level all the way to 500, meaning I've got total of 5 slimes. But I've got no other aspects or perks associated with purchasing through a real currency. Therefore, being a pure free-to-play player, you'll be able to duplicate my results. So basically what I want to do, guys, I'm gonna go through every single aspect of the game and I'll tell you exactly why I have selected certain skill relics, etc., and obviously what's the reason behind it. So without further ado, I'm gonna kick off with the first up, and we're gonna start with slime. When it comes to gear, obviously you're gonna go for a best possible gear when it comes to weapon, same with armor, and then ring itself. I have recently put a video purely related to everything with ring, so I definitely encourage you to do so. The only thing I want to mark at this stage is you want to pay attention to this additional boost to your skill. Ideal perfect ring is obviously as great with a dark clouds additional damage. This one actually gives me a blizzard damage, and funny enough, I don't even have unlocked this skill, therefore this gives me absolutely zero boost. Obviously everything else is pretty decent, and therefore I'm still using that very ring. So then when it comes to characters itself, as mentioned, when you're a free-to-play player, you're gonna actually have top 3 characters, and if you play now Halloween event, you're gonna unlock Amber, that's total of 4, and because I purchased this pack, I've got actually total of 5. So I'm actually using Cobalus, and if I wouldn't, I would definitely go for either Astri or Amber, as this is additional skills or perks that can boost our damage. If you paid player, I would definitely recommend going for either Melissa or Ghost, as they've got additional skills related to boosting damage through companion. Okay, now we're gonna move over to skills. And as I mentioned, with the ring itself, if that would be a dark cloud, as you see, I've got that very skill, and this is pretty much a holy grail. You want to go and upgrade this dark clouds damage with a perfect ring if you can. I do not have blizzard, therefore I would not wear this skill as of yet, and perhaps if I would have got it, then I would try and balance this out, having this additional damage from the ring. So currently where I see the 2 mandatory skills you've got to go for is obviously Magic Coin, as this is the whole build based around, and obviously when we get to relics you will see why, as well as Rage, and this is also related purely to relic. So everything else you see in here are pretty much your heavy hitters. So when it comes to a Dark Clouds, as you see, we're talking here 69,000 damage, and this is AoE. In here we're talking about a further 18,200, and again AoE attack. We got a further damage of 10,200, as well of additional 6.7k. Most of them are AoE skills, and this is obviously great for farming throughout the gameplay. Magic coins are also great addition when it comes to a singular target. Obviously you can see, as per build itself, we are throwing quite a lot of coins, and even though if we just go back to skills, if we check a magic coin, this is actually a common skill. This is one of the very first skills you're gonna unlock. Yet again, with other aspects of the game that I'm gonna show you in just a second, these create this skill very powerful. Obviously, when it comes to heavy hitters, you're gonna put in here whatever you've got available at the time. Just obviously read description, see what total damage you will be dealing, pay attention as well to a cooldown time, and then just craft your own strategy. Now moving on to a relic. And this is obviously where this is a key element of running this build. And when we're gonna talk through relic itself, you will see why we're using magic coins and actually birds as a companions. So first of all, before I review every single relic, the first thing worth noting, obviously you're gonna start from a ancient coins or pretty much any of these relics in this category, and it's worth noting that you want to get these relics as soon as possible to level 100. You're gonna get additional boost to your damage output where you hit level 100 of any of the relics. So therefore, as you see, obviously despite I'm using any others or not, I have boosted to level 100 to get a bonus from that very level. And as you're gonna keep progressing, as you see currently I have managed to squeeze a level 100 on a first top 4, and currently I've got a 2 levels away from having Pearl Necklace on level 100, and then I'm gonna pretty much upgrade every single one in this category. Right then, nevertheless, let's just review what relics we actually want to gear for this build. So ancient coins is gonna be one of these mandatory relics. As you see, we're gonna use magic coins every 3 seconds, meaning obviously now we're speeding up casting of this very skill. Then we're moving over to Ruby, and you see using a Rage, which was a second mandatory skill I have mentioned earlier. This is where we increase companion attack speed by whooping over 1000%. Then moving into Slime Figurine, and this is going to be one of these relics that you're going to see in pretty much every build in here, additional companion attack. And then finally, second part of the puzzle when it comes to magic coin boost, we boost in a damage by a nearly 1700 and fire additional 12 coins. And that's why this build is so powerful, because we got 2 relics associated directly with magic coins, and we can absolutely shot them with a mass damage output. You can clearly see how many coins is there on the map, and therefore this skill is so powerful because of combination of those 2 relics. Then we're moving into necklace, and here I'm using friendship necklace pretty much to have a additional goblin troops, and pretty much even though it stays here every battle, basically what it means that every wave you are completing now when you're farming, as you see there is a plenty of goblins rushing through. So you want to select this very necklace, and then we're moving into Birdie Mask, which then tie up nicely with a second part of our combo, and this is where we have the birds. So we need to have at least 4 birds companions in a team to increase our attack, and that's 30 to 100, which is great. And that also lined up with a last relic, which is Tome of Disorder. Again, one of those which you're gonna see in many different builds, as this is a no-brainer, additional 8000% to attack. So then we're moving over to Mastery. If I scroll all the way down, obviously if you're a free-to-play player, you're gonna have a first part of this Mastery definitely maxed out, and then later on, if you are free-to-play player, you want to go on the right-hand side, obviously to boost that attack as much as possible. Again, I have released video about Masteries, you can check it out. You'll be using experience where leveling your slimes, but at all times you want to have obviously as much attack as possible. And then if you're a paid player, perhaps you got even more masteries to distribute, then I would go on the left hand side where we can boost additional attack speed and finally attack as well. And I will tie up with a last one, trade, and definitely one thing paying attention. Again, if you check the channel, there is a separate video about trades itself. If we go through synergy, you want to go with Hydra, so you want to get 4 skills with this a very orange icon to boost our attack by 30%, and you want to go level 1 with Fiend, the red icon, for additional critical hit attack. Obviously great of the skill, it's random, you know, when it comes to synergy, this is random, and finally what you're gonna land as a skill or trade for that matter, it's also random. But you want to go as much attack, potentially companion or skill attack is also handy. This is a far from being, you know, the best setup ever. This is something I've got currently. Keep farming more of the currency before I'm gonna try another set of resets and try to land better trades. So now we're gonna move over to a companion, and as you see currently I actually wear 5 different birds, and this is obviously to boost this Birdie Mask, the main relic what I talked about. Definitely what is worth noting here, that as you see there is quite a lot of birds as well as chickens, and the chickens actually fall into 2 different categories. Some you might have a relics or treasure directly related to chicken, but they also bird at the same time as they are in a real life. Therefore obviously you can go for a very much icon of a proper flying bird in a category of the bird as well as chicken. As well, what is worth noting, as you see I'm actually gearing one of these epic birds, the blue bird, which is on level 100, which massively outperform one of my legendary, which is only on level 4. So you want to definitely double check which of your birds is the strongest and then set up that very build. As the relic itself mentioned, you need only 4 of the birds, but I have deliberately went with 5, as this now relates to one of the new treasures. And I'm gonna head over to treasures straight away. And if we hit that, I currently got only 3, so let me just address the 3 I've got, and obviously more treasure I will unlock later on. I will be able to update you. But a Chick Doll is one of these additional perks for actually having birds in our team. So despite we using a relic and a great additional boost, now we're boosting skill damage even further per added bird. So therefore, having 4 already, I'm thinking, why not? Let's put 5 and have additional boosts out of that. Then when it comes to secondary, I'm using here a Thorn Crown, and this is to boost a skill damage by 136% as it stands. And finally, I'm having here a Golden Spoon to boost that critical damage. Obviously, as you see, there are still 3 treasures missing. I think once I unlock them, then I'll be able pretty much to start playing a little bit more with a different builds. And if I do so, I will definitely keep you guys posted so you can review any other builds. But when it comes to this very much duo build, magic coins and a bird itself, that is everything I've got for you today. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you have, you know what to do. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and as always, I will see you next time.